Prostitution in Ukraine. How police, government and mafia control this 20 billion illegal business. Prostitution isn't just the oldest profession in the world. The unofficial estimates are 100,000 prostitutes working in Ukraine, generating over $20 billion for our economy every year. And even though prostitution is illegal in Ukraine, it's a covered business, meaning protected by Ukraine police, Ukraine politicians, and of course the mafia, who are all on the take, making a killing, tarnishing our country's reputation by making sex tourism one of Ukraine's biggest industries. The officially reported numbers are much different, of course. 100,000 prostitutes that generate $1 billion for Ukraine's economy, but everyone knows different. It's well known that even Ukraine's former president Yanukovych had an entire department that looked after seeing that he's always well taken care of by an entourage of prostitutes. In fact, many economists say that prostitution is so entrenched in our economy and so vital to Ukraine's existence that without this revenue, our country might plunge into a great recession, if not total economic breakdown. On a side note, even coronavirus cannot stop the oldest profession in Ukraine. It's actually up since the lockdown, according to insider sources. Hi guys, I'm Vita and welcome to this taboo edition of Ukraine Live. Today we are going to get our hands dirty and reveal the ugly truth about this taboo topic that everyone, including police, politicians and even the government-controlled media, wants to sweep under the carpet. You will understand why after watching this next video, which I will translate for you guys as the video plays. So guys, this video is about how people can actually order prostitute to the prison. And the bottom line of this video is that you can even take out delivery of a prostitute of your choice if you are an inmate in prison. Little pricey though, $500 to the prison plus $100 for the prostitute. So that's the main issue about this video, and you see the guy is explaining how easy actually it's to do. So you order, and sometimes prostitutes pretend to be kind of relatives and they invite them to do this service. So now, what does prostitution in Ukraine have to do with you, right? After all, you're not looking to live in Ukraine just to find a good wife here, right? Well, let me ask you this question. Do you really think is that easy to spot a good girl from a prostitute, a call girl, or even a gold digger in Ukraine? Think about this. If you don't speak the language, you don't understand our mentality or mindset, you don't know our cultural history and how all these weave together to create what makes Ukrainians, or for that matter, slave people who we are today. And this video, guys, it's about a woman who is explaining actually how she became a prostitute. This lady has two higher education. One is economical and another one. And how she became a prostitute, she explains. She even didn't need the money. She was quite a young, nice girl, and then she just noticed that men pay attention to her, that she is attractive, and that's actually the easy money. She understands that she can actually earn by this. So that's the story. So guys, the big takeaway here for you is how you're going to meet Ukrainian women and feel with confidence that you have met a good girl with good intentions to find a husband and to start a family. And not a prostitute, call girl, gold digger, or a woman with other hidden motives. How? Sadly, there are hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian women who did not marry for love, rather just to improve themselves financially, get out of Ukraine and live a better life. Tell me, is that much different from prostitution? Next, I'm going to play a surprise clip, and while you watch it, please write your vote in comments below now. Which do you think it's a video from? The first, dance floor.
Maybe it's even Igor. Well, let me shine some light on things.
Sorry guys, this video is now so you can watch it, okay? And make your voting, make your comments, please. Which do you prostitutes, brothel, or matchmaking party with serious men looking for a good wife? Please write down your comments in the chat box. And so, did you guess the right one? Well, if you voted matchmaking party with serious men looking for a good wife, when you are correct. That was a clip from infamous mail order bride documentary called Love Me. And what you saw in the clip was what the industry calls a romance tour or a social party. Tell me honestly, guys, did you see any matches made in matrimonial haven in that clip? Did those look like good girls to you? Serious marriage-minded ladies? So please help us out and go vote now in your comments, okay? So don't forget to do this. And ask yourself, please, what do you think would be the cost to you both emotionally and financially if you, like so many Western men, do not choose your wife wisely? Even worse, you're not getting any younger, right? If you get it wrong this time, will you have enough time to attract another younger, beautiful woman like you do now? Guys, I'm going deep on this hot topic because I want to truly help you to make wise choices. I want to help spare you the cost and heartbreak of making a bad decision here. In fact, one of the richest men in the world, Warren Buffett, says, "The most important decision you'll ever make in your life has nothing to do with your money or career. It's who you choose to marry." Next, I'm going to play a shocking video that will help open your eyes wide open, and then I'll be back.
Are you caught up in a PPL scheme, paying endlessly per letter, and after spending hundreds or even thousands of dollars, you're not even sure if she's real, or even if you're actually chatting or writing to the beautiful girl that you think you are? Tell me what you think of Jim's story. He's one of these guys that asked us to do a free scammer check. Maybe it's even Igor. Well, let me shine some light on things for you by sharing our stats from doing thousands of free scam checks together with our partner for almost 20 years now. Are you sitting down? 99.3% of the time, guys were being scammed. So that begs the question, what do you think your chances are online?
So the total amount spent was $317,000. They learn about you, understand who you are, and they become the perfect woman for you. Well, the story started when I joined a website. It was an online dating website for international dating. I was contacted by a young lady. Her name was Ekaterina Inokaeva. She's a Russian model that's really popular on the internet.
Now, have you ever wondered, how is it even possible that in today's age, in 2020, these Goliath online scam sites continue to thrive? They still clock in annually at over $1 billion. Simply put, you want to know the secret? Well, at the core, it's because guys like you have no choice when it comes to making a virtual online connection with beautiful girls. Until now, that is. Does this feel like you? Locked down at home like most of the world right now, afraid to go outside.
Yeah, it's how our ladies feel right now. Locked down at their home, feel lonely, and still have hope for find their man of dream.
And this is the opportunity we have specifically put together for you guys based on what's going on with this worldwide pandemic and lots of lonely ladies sitting at home. We see writing on the wall. First, I want to play the 60-second video that's going to give you an experiential feel for what is your opportunity.
Have you been searching for a beautiful wife? Do you dream of meeting the perfect woman, but haven't found her? Well, imagine if there was a simple way this could all change for you. Imagine if there was a Canadian marriage agency that would introduce you to as many beautiful women as it takes until you find the one. Ukraine, a lost world of beautiful traditional women. At last, a place where you can find the beautiful wife you have always dreamed of. Every Ukrainian woman dreams of having a happy family. Now you can have a traditional, beautiful wife from Ukraine, creating happy family memories forever. So what are you waiting for? Register right now and Skype our beautiful ladies completely free. So what makes us different, you might ask? Why not ask Google simply by searching Match Guarantee Reviews?
What is the definition of insanity? It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Why am I talking about this first? Because, guys, a lot of you guys are caught up in the PPL world, the pay per letter world, and you guys need to know you're being scammed. That's just our cautionary point there that really there is no live honest chat yet.
The world is talking to you. The world is talking to you. The world is talking to you. Oh, you have to hear. I got high on my way. Surrender to the flow.
So, here is a few more details about our Match Guarantee chat launch. May 1st is our target launch date, both in the Apple and Android app stores, okay? We anticipate having over 1,000 Ukrainian and Eastern European ladies on the chat app when we launch. And the best part, 100 lucky first sign-ups will get it free for 6 months. And $97 per month is the regular membership price for unlimited chat with unlimited ladies, guys. Subscribe now to our YouTube channel so you won't miss out on being one of our lucky 100 guys that gets 6 months free. That's a $582 value for free. Okay, guys, the 6 points we are going to talk today about include. So, will it ever change in Ukraine? Prostitution statistics, official and non-official, reasons why prostitution is so big in Ukraine. How does the system work here? Sex tourism, both in and outside Ukraine, sex slavery and human trafficking in and outside Ukraine. And okay, now let's get to the point number 1. Will it ever change in Ukraine? Why not legalize prostitution like the Netherlands did? After all, in the case of the Netherlands, prostitution now contributes $1 billion in tax revenues to the country's economy. Great idea, right? Well, consider this story from Ukraine's history. In September 2015, a member of Ukraine's parliament, Andriy Nemirovsky, proposed legislation legalizing prostitution in Ukraine, but shortly after he was faced with the decision either withdrawing or possibly ending up in a ditch somewhere. Needless to say, he kept his mouth shut and was strong-armed out of politics. So you tell me, do you think it will ever change? So, hello guys, hello everybody, okay, and I want to remind you our schedule. First of all, happy to see all of you. You remember, we meet with you every Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, so you're welcome to join us live always. And if you don't have chance to be online with us today, so you can always watch and write your comments below in the comments or today in your chat box, okay? Okay, guys, so let's get back to the topics. The topic is quite dirty, serious, okay, and we're gonna analyze it today because it's a painful topic actually for majority of Ukrainian women, because you know all European countries has this dirty association with Ukrainian women. So I would like to clarify a little bit this situation. So it's a lot of information for you today. Be careful, okay, and listen how it works here in Ukraine. So actually, unemployment has become the pain of Ukraine's domestic policy. Minister of Social Policy at a government meeting admitted the employment rate today in Ukraine is 56% of the number of able-bodied people. In fact, today only about 16 million people officially work in Ukraine. Not surprisingly, against the backdrop of unemployment in Ukraine, prostitution began to blossom. Prostitution has already become one of the most lucrative professions here. Moreover, its scale has taken such big proportions that the Cabinet of Ministers has repeatedly raised the issue and even suggested to tighten administrative responsibility for venal love. However, Ukrainians sell themselves not only at home, but also actively go abroad to earn money, including not only Russia, as you know, but all over the world as well. For the country to become a favorite destination of sex tourism, a combination of several factors is necessary. The first is poverty, the second is the feminization of poverty, when actually women get poorer faster than men. The third factor is a narrow corridor of opportunities, a narrowing of the labor market, and finally the fourth is well-established criminal structures. Ukraine turned out to be among the countries that possess all of the above characteristics once in the company of Cuba, Philippines, the Dominican Republic, Thailand, and some also post-Soviet countries. More recently, it was widely believed that Ukrainian women in Europe can only work as prostitutes or servants, right? More than 100,000 Ukrainian women are employed abroad in the sex industry. The deplorable state of the Ukrainian economy forces girls to go abroad to earn money, and very often they see no other perspective for themselves than selling their own bodies. In extreme cases, they are arranged by dancers, waitresses, nannies, and housekeepers, right? But now there is a tendency to marry Ukrainian ladies. Why not? They, unlike Western European women, are not yet spoiled by feminism. A Ukrainian woman that has not married by the age of 27 here in Ukraine is considered to be illiquid. And Western women at this age are just engaged in building career, and they often start thinking about family and children closer to 40, or actually much, much later. Ukrainians at this age are ready to have their own children and to do housework. Many of them like to cook. Plus, Ukrainians are quite temperamental girls, but not aggressive at the same time, and their soft Slavic accent simply mesmerize foreign grooms. Many of them are well educated and quite capable of supporting the conversation. And most importantly, they are rarely held by something at home, in Ukraine I mean, and they are not afraid to start a new life, quickly adapting to new conditions. All these facts actually make Ukrainian women really good wives. Today, wealthy Americans, British people, French and Spaniards spend from $2,000 up to $4,000 for a romantic tour. They are promised that they will get acquainted with young, beautiful women who believe in family values. Indeed, during such a tour, a group of 15-25 clients gets acquainted with approximately 150 up to 250 women. On average, it is 5 women per day. It's true that many of them don't know foreign languages, so they have to communicate through an interpreter. To make it easier to establish contact, each participant attaches a piece of paper, here, kind of badge, with a name and sometimes even a number on his clothes. Definitely that most men attending such events expect to get cheap or even free sex. And they manage, in majority of cases, they manage, because for most girls, it's a great chance to get some money and to find a man at the same time. Ukrainian search engines abroad, in addition to social networks, catch foreigners on dating sites. Girls who are ready to sell themselves often sit on Badoo or Tinder. The girls are daily written by Turkish people, Arabians, Asians, and all European guys. According to the statistics, the number of foreign traders in Ukraine has increased significantly. Those who come to our country for the purpose of sex tourism are well educated in where and how and for how much they can rent a girl for the night. Law enforcement authorities attribute the growth in the number of foreign night butterfly hunters to the fall in the cost of their services amid the worsening economic situation in the country. 1 hour of sex in Ukraine today costs around from $10 up to $75. Like average prostitute, okay? This is much cheaper than in many European countries, especially for those who pay domestic prostitutes in dollars or euros, right? In particular, in Turkey, sex with the European women will cost several times more. So, in addition, the openness of the borders and the fall of the hryvnia stimulate the desire of young Ukrainian girls to break out for money. Many of them seek to get acquainted with foreigners, expecting a serious relationship, but often meet only lovers of sexual entertainment. Usually, it is not difficult for a foreigner to get acquainted with a new passion even without knowledge of Russian or Ukrainian language, right? It is enough to treat the mademoiselle you like with a cocktail, and if she took a drink, it's a sign of readiness for closer communication. The standard phrase is, "How are you?" plus $100, and the hour of love for you guys is provided. For 2 days, you could easily have sex with a dozen girls. Girls say if some foreign guys especially liked someone, he could pay even $200. So, a little bit interesting facts and statistics. There work now around 100,000 Ukrainian prostitutes. The majority of prostitutes are in Kiev, Dnipro, Odessa, and Kharkiv. Kharkiv, by the way, is considered to be the capital of prostitution in Ukraine. Only 10% of Ukrainian prostitutes don't have sexually transmitted diseases. The average age of girls is 27 years old. Ukrainian prostitute monthly earns around $4,000. She gives around 40-70% to the pimp and around $50 to the roofing policeman daily for the covering police, okay, to protect her. So average salary of an average prostitute, actually after all these payments, is about $800 per month. The amount of black money which gets the pimp and police is around $3,500 monthly, and around $36,000 annually. If all Ukrainian prostitutes works legally, they will give to a government only around, regarding our tax system, okay, $25-30 monthly, depending on her profit. The government can get from taxes annually around $33.5 million. Quite huge amount, right? However, more and more sex tourists hope to get not just completely cheap, but completely free sex. Spending on cocktails, of course, it's not included. Various online resources and some marriage agencies through which foreigners connect with girls and who sometimes organize such meetings themselves are becoming part of the illegal sex tourism industry here in Ukraine. Girls work in dozens of such companies. They provide their photos on websites to attract you, foreign guys. In some agencies, their foreign owners periodically check whether real girls work on the site or not. Therefore, the girls have to once every 1 or 2 months to talk on camera, okay, and to explain or to report with how many men she supposedly talked to. In fact, other employees chatted with fans, professional translators, students of foreign language departments, and sometimes even men. You know that better than me already. From marriage agencies, girls receive a rate of $200 per month, simply because her profile is being used on the site. However, if such sites help to get to know foreigners for marriage, although sometimes they deceive their customers and blind dates on a fake photo often end up with nothing, But such resources as gia.la and carryonline.com are aimed directly at people who are looking for sexual adventures. Most likely, the owners of these two sites are located in Ukraine, police claim, but they are registered in other countries, in Netherlands and Romania. Pimps often took for girls for an hour for foreign citizens through the social networks, offering, first of all, positions such as hostess or models. The victim of deception fills out a questionnaire, and only then they clarify that the work involves intimacy. However, many of girls agree at the end of the day. Representatives of an elite escort competing with each other advertise themselves in low-quality magazines. One of the biggest magazine like this is in Kiev. Such publications, they actually distributed to hotels and clubs and positions itself as a fashionable gloss writing on various secular topics. For example, sport, tourism, whatever. However, one of its main goals, according to girls' confessions, is promotion for prostitutes. Wealthy, often luxurious escort girls and just who wish to be promoted are ready to pay from $1,000 for posting their photos inside the publication and $5,000–$7,000 for the cover of publication, right? Which may appear as an advertisement for a magazine on a billboard. So an escort girls in this way are gaining a price for themselves, so they later can write on their websites, I am a model, was a cover girl, and stuff like that, just to make a more beautiful picture of her own, okay? Men who come to Ukraine for girls have their own stable ideas. One of them, Ukrainians are beautiful, gentle, caring, and affordable, actually cheap. When wealthy men from other countries come to Ukraine and our girls accompany them, the girls create an illusion of acquaintance, hence the sensation of the likeness of human relations, which in turn avoids the banality of prostitution. It's true that an organized voyage with the participation of elite prostitutes is not affordable for everyone, even for every foreign guy, right? An hour with such a diva can be starting from $300 up to $2,500 or more. And Ukraine is often visited by far from the richest foreigners, They find for themselves win of love at a fair price. Foreign roamers will be told by metropolitan taxi drivers and even administrators of drinking establishment or managers of hotels. They will explain the habitats of girls of easy virtue. Moreover, on the streets of Kiev, for example, in the area of Bessarabska Square, addresses of massage salons are openly distributed under the guise of which they offer sexual services. Sometimes they call girls for customers just from the hotel, so you can order it, that's not a problem, for only $50 from Pushkinskaya, the central metropolitan street where one of the famous Kiev brothels is located. The phenomenon of sex tourism usually means that a country has a large and unprotected market for internal prostitution. In order for business to flourish, and sex tourism is of course a business, first of all, its criminal organization is necessary. This is not just the spontaneous movements of interested fans, because the potential sex tours are often gathered in groups by underground tour operators and pre-think about a plan to stay in Ukraine. Ukraine is one of the best countries where you can inexpensively and nicely have a good rest in the company of corrupt women. Sex itself is not a problem if any of its manifestations, says Vlad Ivanenko, who is the editor of Playboy Ukraine. The problem is in the heads of those who consider sex to be a problem. Basically, these are politicians who arrange bright orgies in private houses with the involvement of those same prostitutes. One of such politicians was our ex-president Yanukovych, who used to create such parties and had even a special people to select girls for him. The only way out is to legalize this industry as soon as possible. But legalization of prostitution is far from a panacea. Our country should not trade local women, even if it has nothing more to trade. Namely, the regular circulation in it of a huge number of unaccounted money, unknown from somewhere, but still coming from a year to year, significantly affecting the country's overall economic indicators. Where does this money came from, and how it is related to Ukrainian prostitutes? Another interesting fact will help to answer this question. The answer is actually painfully simple. Over the past 20 years, Ukraine has become a leading leader in the sex industry of the world, in a country where female beauty, produced in large quantities, is not only one of the main export categories, but in general, the basis of the local economy, along with the metal, grain, and weapons. The money received from the functioning of this industry is already inseparable from the general structure of our economy. We have to face it now, guys. When you listen to me and all these bad stories, hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian women are sweating their faces, actually, in order to satisfy the most sophisticated sexual fantasies of their clients, thereby filling up the currency reserves of their state that can no longer exist without this money. In the time since the collapse of the USSR, hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians were taken abroad as either sex slaves or voluntary workers in the world sex and porn industry. Hundreds of thousands did not marry for love, but to provide for them financially, which is also not too much different from prostitution, right? And this had led to the fact that the number of tourists, in the vast majority of men, has increased several times over recent years. The development of the internet only contributed to this trend. As a result, Ukraine has become, no matter how hard the visa departments of Western embassies try, still the world leaders in the production of so-called mail-order brides ordered by mail. Moreover, every minute in Ukraine, there are thousands of webcams and resources broadcasting pornography around the world, for which representatives of the oldest male hobby pay dozens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Recently, it was widely discussed an event, very funny story, by the way, you will be shocked, maybe you heard even this story, but anyway, I would like to mention it. One of the Ukrainian sailors decided to use the services of a global online resource of female strippers. What was his amazement when, if the girl he chose, he recognized his own wife remaining in her homeland. So that's a real story, so you can imagine how he felt. Within our country for many years, there has been an industry of the detection and use of female beauty from an early age, which has become the only mineral extracted from us on a global scale. Ukraine leads in another, the most scientifically advanced form of prostitution, reproductive as well. Also parts of so-called prostitution here. Thousands of barren Western couples pay huge sums for healthy Ukrainians to bear and give birth to children for them. At the same time, there's a paradox: the population of Ukraine is rapidly reducing. A reasonable question arises: why, being one of the few countries of the modern world where prostitution is prohibited by law, Ukraine has become a byword with respect to the venality of her female beauty? The answer is simple. Since prostitution has already grown into the very fabric of Ukrainian society, and the local government, represented mainly by men, derives fabulous profits from it. In addition to a significant improvement in the currency balance of the country, Ukrainian priestesses of love bring untold wealth to a group of people who would have to struggle with their very existence, our law enforcement agencies. It was they, beginning in the late 90s, who took upon themselves the honorable duty of being the main patrons of Ukraine prostitutes, so-called new Russians, you know. For this, a brilliantly simple scheme was developed. Prostitution is prohibited at the legislative level, but punishment for it does not imply a prison term. This gave our security forces the opportunity to effectively punish naughty prostitutes while keeping the super profitable industry afloat. Being called upon to safeguard public morality, our law enforcement agencies actually represent the very foundation of its decline. No wonder the criminal chronicle is full of reports every day of raids to close illegal brothels. After all, only the naive do not understand that the latter are closed only because they did not share the profit. Our bodies are especially zealous in searching for internet brothels, since it is they who violate the unspoken law on the sharing of incomes in the most egregious form by contacting their customers directly, which is why the punishment for pornography is much tougher. So they say that the search for such institutions has long been the main task of police, cyber units that analyze internet traffic and track the cash flows of their civilian rivals in industrial pimping. All of the above is not new. Each of us, one way or another, knows that all over the world Ukraine is associated with female beauty and the most diverse forms of its venality. It strikes another. How did the country manage to put prostitution truly on an industrial track and become a world leader in the sex services industry in a fairly short period of independence? How did millions of women so quickly turn from exemplary female workers and housewives into annoying hordes of representatives of an ancient profession? And finally, how did men of the whole planet gain the right and opportunity to buy the beauty of Ukrainians wholesale and retail? Of course, our women will say that they are trying to get out of this stalemate as they can, and that the main fault is in the monstrous inadequacy of Ukrainian men, like most of them, how our women claim they are lazy, egoistic, not hardworking, and alcoholics. But where do such men come from? Who gives birth, grows, and educates them? Who inspires them with standards of mind and beauty? That's right, mostly our women. So men usually want only one thing, to be what reflects in women's eyes. And if these eyes see nothing but money, things, and formal success, such utilitarianism makes men moral and physical cycle freaks in a large numbers. So actually you can understand the roots of this phenomenon. It's also one of the biggest mistake of our Ukrainian women, because they took too much responsibility on themselves. They decide to let men do what they want, to behave how they want, and our women start to use all possible ways to earn money, and especially some of them want, like, if they consider prostitution is easy and fast money. So guys, that was the material I would like to represent for you today. I hope that was useful and interesting for you. And now we have time to communicate with you. So I'm waiting for your questions, okay, regarding this topic or maybe some other topics. Also, guys, what I wanted to ask you. So please feel free to ask any questions. There is no taboo question for me, you know. So let's see what we have in our chat today. Oh, a lot of comments, a lot of discussion. I think the topic was a little bit hot, but at the same time was painful. Okay, guys. Also, I remind you, before I start answering your questions, I remind you about our Match Guarantee chat launch, which gonna start May 1st. Both you can find it both in Apple and Android app stores, and we anticipate having over 1,000 Ukrainian and Eastern European ladies on the chat app when we launch. And the best part, 100 lucky first sign-ups will get it free for six, right? Like this, for 6 months. So the regular membership price for unlimited chat with unlimited ladies will be $97, okay? So don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and you won't miss out on being one of those lucky 100 guys that get 6 months for free. Okay, so let's see what we have. Hello to everybody once again. Thanks for your nice wishes. Everything is fine with me so far, okay? Hope all of you also healthy and safe. Tracy, добрый вечер. Workaholics, everybody. So I'm trying to find some questions, not your inside communication, guys. Yes, Voxholes, you're surprised people can get prostitute in a prison. Yes, so you need to pay to prison authorities or some responsible person, starting from $200 up to $500 plus the price of prostitute. Okay, so they just pretend prostitute is kind of relative, maybe niece, maybe wife, maybe sister who just came to visit guy, and so. Quite possible. Of course, not every prisoner can afford that, of course, but for some, like, who really big mafia and famous bandit or something who has money and constant incomes, you know, when their team support them, so they can arrange that easily. GBF, how much does a street girl cost in Ukraine? Actually, you can find any prices. I was looking into even Sumi websites, okay, where girls proposed and offered their service. So it can start even from $20 per hour. The average price is like $50, but if you just take the girl outside on the main roads, you know, not inside the city, of course, no, between the cities, when they stay along the road and proposing themselves, so it can be really cheap, like maybe $15, $20, something like this, like really cheap. These girls, of course, not luxurious, not elite, okay, that you understand, but if you're choosing the elite prostitute, so the price can be much, much, much higher, starting from $200 and up. So it depends on what level of woman you choose. So wisely choose, guys, even in this way. But don't forget, only 10% of our prostitutes don't have venereal disease. So that's also some scary. Okay. 21st bird boy, 100 an hour. Yes, that's like a little bit bigger price than usual. Not on the street, okay? Not on the street. So 21st bird boy is an experienced user, okay? Matchmaking party, you were correct. Guys, I don't see your questions because I see you're communicating. Guys, trying to find your questions. A man looking for a wife that are what are the chances she is or former prostitute? You never know, actually. You never know, actually, because how can you know? You can never know. But you need to be attentive. You need to be attentive. Maybe I know this story. And this story is real from my own friend. He was communicating with one very nice lady on Tinder, quite young lady, maybe 25 or 26 years old, looks quite educated and normal, and everything was fine. On the next day, she sent him her own intimate photos, but he even didn't ask. And it was a big confusion because the guy was looking for serious match, okay, for serious girl. So he's choosing really wisely. He is looking even how grammatically correct a woman is, how much she reads, so how educated she is, what's her interests, hobbies. And even in some cases, I know that one lady, she was quite okay and he really liked her, but then she made like such a primitive mistake in some word. So he was completely disappointed and said to her, okay, you gonna find another man, not me, because I'm looking for educated person with whom I will have always to talk, like on serious topics, not just cooking, shopping, sales, cosmetics, and all other stuff. So can be. So that's the story. The guy even didn't ask for intimate photos, but the girl sent, and there was like a little bit confusion. And then she understand the guy wasn't expecting such photos and didn't count on them. So she actually spoiled her reputation. Of course, he didn't communicate with her after, and it was like confusion between them, because it means the girl used to send her photos expecting maybe some money offering after, if you want to get some more intimate, more open, okay, more sexy photos, not just showing breast or something, okay, like intimate, but not so much. So still some cases exist. So you never know actually if she was or not. It's better. I know another story. When guy, after 2 years of dating, find out that his girl was a cam girl, and he found her on different porn hubs in Europe. So some of the videos were covered already and like closed, but still it was her name and he could recognize her on these video episodes and whatever. So the girl right now is just 25 years old, but before, so it was maybe 2-3 years ago. So she took a chance to earn some good money, I guess. So you need just to be careful. You need to check her social networks, okay, like Facebook, Instagram. You need to Google her photo, her name. And if something pops up, then it's a red flag. But anyway, how you can check? You cannot check. You can never have guarantee, okay? Max Griga, I'm local resident in Kyiv. I know how things work here. Perfect. Yeah. Stay healthy. Do you think the criminals are in charge? Not always, far from it. Odessa used to be the main route in Europe for human trafficking. Yeah. Will it change in time or no one cares? No, people care, simple people cares, I think, but politicians, I think they don't care until they get profit from this. So, of course, they will protect their business, because until Ukraine in such situation, always where there will be girls who can just get money for being a cam girl or just selling her body, or most of them, even I know, think somehow they will find a man. And I know lots of these stories, especially in Switzerland, where a lot of Ukrainian prostitutes work now, and especially before, like 10-15 years ago, lots of guys, local guys, married prostitutes, Ukrainian prostitutes, whom they were just taken out from brothels. So because when they start to communicate, they see the girl actually is not bad, it's a good person, and they just like fall in love, I don't know. And a lot of such stories actually. Okay, guys, we have 10 minutes more. So I'm waiting for your questions, guys, because too much of communication, so I need to find. Can the Ukraine government ban all online mail order sites? That's not question for me, and I think not. I think not. Maybe one day it will be the law against that, but for now, I think until people sharing incomes, that's not possible. Vita, does Ukraine have tolerance zones? What do you mean? Sorry, I didn't get what exactly you mean about tolerance zones. You mean tolerance zones for prostitution or for what? Okay, guys, cannot see your real question. Can you please ask something or maybe propose the topic for the next our live meeting, which actually could be interesting for you in this time, that on time we all on quarantine and we are closed at home, so you will really enjoy and find it useful. So maybe tell us your ideas about what you would like to. Какие, боже. Oh my God. Я ответила уже. Так, guys. Gary Anthony, older single women, can they be found for marriage? Yeah, of course, I can tell you, you have much more chances with the women after 40 years old, because they are more serious, they have enough of Ukraine in most cases, and they are looking really for serious men, not for money, but for men to spend old ages together. And so with that woman, you have much better chances if you choose, in comparison, if you choose 25-year-old girls, because they are not so much serious, and even they don't have this intention to get married at such age. Kevin, Vita, thank you for giving us good information. You're welcome. I'm always trying my best, always trying to make it interesting for you. Historic Lake, hello. What is the price of gorgeous looking escort in Ukraine? Not a cheap one. It can be starting, I think, from $300 per hour. And it can be up to $2,500. So the price can be really high for elite, I mean. Yes. You want again elite escort girl? Okay. Tolerance zone, street that police allow prostitution. No. We don't have such places. Absolutely. No. The police can allow this. You cannot find some girls like on the street, like if you go to Amsterdam or something, the street of red lamps. So in Sumy you cannot, in Kiev or whenever. Maybe it can be hidden. The girl can be sitting, drinking some coffee in some cafe or club alone, waiting for someone. You can understand by her searching eyes, something like this. Or you need just to Google and find some hidden brothels, but not like obviously. You go and this is the street where you can find girls just outside. No, we don't have such places. Jerry, I've asked 3 questions already. Oh my God, Jerry, I will try to find your questions. I missed it, not ignoring you, sorry. 1 second, I will try to find. Post your question again, please. I see you ask questions, guys, but not me. Gary, okay. I found the question. What's the difference between a woman who demands shopping spree and a prostitute? I think you know what's the difference. That's a little bit another different. Any woman, if she likes you, if she trusts you, and if you are in a good relationship, even she can ask you for shopping, and that will be absolutely another story. Of course, as you know, if the woman asks you for shopping on the first or second date, that's absolutely not appropriate. Of course, it doesn't mean she is a prostitute. It doesn't mean absolutely, but it means she's a scammer, actually not interested in you. She's interested just in having good dinner in some expensive restaurant and getting some nice stuff from you, okay? Because believe me, any serious woman who really likes the man, she would like to show her best sides, okay? And one of the best is modesty. Modesty, independence. I don't need your money. I don't want you to think about me. I'm a scammer. So the good and serious woman would like to postpone this moment of asking you something for a long, long time. If we are talking about good women. Prostitution, you sell your body. That's a little bit. Okay, we can generalize the definition of scammer and prostitution, but prostitutes in this way, I think they even more honest because they do service and they get payment. What is doing scammer? She's just twisting you around all the time, asking to get something, but nothing give to you. So that's the difference. And I think that's the most biggest issue between prostitutes and scammers. Prostitutes are better in this way. So guys, okay, for today it's all, okay? I want to remind you that we meet with you every Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Please don't forget to give me your likes, because even now in quarantine times, it's more important than before, okay? So please give me your motivation. I need to see that you are interested, you need me here, and you need our information and what we are doing for you all the time, okay? So don't forget to subscribe to our channel, not to miss our new chance to be one of 100 lucky guys to get our new launch for free, okay, for 6 months. Don't forget about that option. And I hope to see all of you next Saturday. I wish all of you to stay healthy and safe. Stay home, guys.